What's with all the hate? Hello everybody, welcome back to a short review of Hyrit. I just saw Venom and quite frankly I was a bit already sorry for all the noise. There's like a carnival going on outside and they are loud. Um, so I just saw Venom and to be quite honest, I thought it was fun. It was a lot of fun to me. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of critics, I have my skeptical bits about the movie. Mostly, what a lot of people seem to hate about it is that it apparently doesn't have an identity, which I just found that's not really a critic in my opinion because it was very obvious what it wanted to be. It was a like anti-hero superhero flick with quite a lot of fun in it. It tried to be a little bit like a PG-rated Deadpool, in my opinion, because there isn't a drop of blood, even though Venom does some cool things in this. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. If you're new to these type of reviews, I am here to give a short shout out to a movie I just saw, and I do it all spoiler free. So no spoilers except for what you've probably already seen in the trailer, whatever, posters, stuff, what you have already seen. Um, I am a bit late with this one, mostly because I was held back with a lot of the critique that this movie was getting, and I took it for granted, which I shouldn't have done, quite frankly. Trying to do something here. So yeah, well, what held me back? Well, most likely because it was Sony that produced it, and they so rarely do their Marvel things well. And I really love the Venom character. I really love it. It's one of my favorite add-ons to the Spider-Man universe. But knowing that this movie isn't going to have anything to do with Spider-Man, I am kind of saying like, hey, lower your expectations already. What are you hoping to see in this? Knowing that Spider-Man isn't going to be in it, none of this has anything to do with the MCU yet. I'm not saying it will never happen, but what are you expecting from it? You already know what to expect. So I went in this just to see Venom. I wanted to see this character. I wanted to see him done right. I wanted to see him done like I wanted to see him done. I think that is the biggest complaint of a lot of people, that this isn't the same Venom from the comics. How could it be? There is no Spider-Man here. So what are they going to focus on? Well, take a wild guess what they're gonna focus on. Maybe the main character? Maybe Eddie Brock? Maybe just the fact that they are stuck together? The actual drama of Venom. I don't think you need Spider-Man in order to have a Venom story. I don't think that is the case. Now, have they done it well? They have done it okay. A lot of the things in this movie don't make sense, but here's the thing. I laughed my ass off with this movie. I found it so funny. I found it so hilarious. And a lot of people probably don't like that because it's Venom and it needs to be strong and bad and see me being an anti-hero. But the entire point of going to something as ridiculous as Venom is to have it have a little bit of fun with itself. And that it has. However, I do have a couple complaints. Like, one of the first things that I took notes, actually. I took notes because I'm a nerd that way. There's this scene where Eddie doesn't know what is happening yet, and thanks to Venom, he climbs a tree, and nobody spots him. Like, the bad guys were right behind him. They're like, where did he go? They're like circling the tree he's in. And it's like, what? Just, that's all you need to do. Like that's that type of thing. Establishing the character of Eddie Brock was done pretty good in my opinion. It establishes him as a reporter that doesn't shy away from the hard-hitting questions. However, he goes too far with two powerful people. One thing leads to another. Bad shit happens. He's down on his luck. Tom Hardy just fucking knocks it out of the park. He is the most fun and most entertaining person in this movie by far. You know, him as both Eddie Brock and Venom. Like, it took me a while to realize that he actually also dubbed all of the Venom dialogue, and quite frankly, that's hilarious and amazing. And Tom Hardy, you're doing great. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Um, like he portrays Eddie Brock not as this, because that was always my grip with the character in the comic books, that he was just another guy who was after Spider-Man, you know? It was just another one. And over the years he became something more, and I know that, but I want to focus on that. You know, this is a movie about Venom, so I want to focus not on Spider-Man, not as on his relationship with Spider-Man, but on as him as this anti-hero thing. You know, and yeah, they did that pretty good in my opinion. The only downside is, like a lot of these type of movies, it takes so long to get there. You know, I mean, you're halfway through the movie and only then does the bonding shit start. You know, that's oh man, and that's when you're already like, what is it, 15 minutes into the movie, and that's like ugh. But when the bonding starts, that is a lot of fun. Like it's I am almost like inclined to say that it is best to see this with subtitles as I have, because I'm Dutch. I see this with Dutch subtitles, and because of that I didn't skip any dialogue. And I do believe that if you are just seeing this without any subtitles, you're gonna miss out on at a lot of funny dialogue, because especially when Venom starts talking, it's very like, whoa, you know, because it's a very booming voice, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, we have chase scenes, which a lot of people are like complaining. I saw online like, yeah, it's a very generic car chase scene. I was like, really? You thought that was generic? I found it a lot of fun. He's on a motorcycle, he creates pathways as Venom, and he still has that dialogue. And if you really pay attention, you see Eddie Brock himself like quietly turning into like, oh, I'm actually kind of okay with this because I'm not dead yet. And that's yeah, I found that fun. Um, some other people were saying that this should have been rated R. I don't think that would fly a lot. I mean, we could have this grand R-rated thing, of course, and with all the blood, which that's really funny because there's a lot of stabbing, eating, a lot of shit going on, but you never see a drop of blood, not a single drop. And I found that like, that was the most hilarious part of the movie. But no. The most hilarious part of the movie is the relationship between Venom and Eddie, because it's both sporadic and very quick, as well as very developed. And I found that very fascinating. It's something that I haven't seen being done this way before. You know, I haven't seen a relationship being done this way. One scene, Venom could say like, "You're my vessel. You know, you're gonna do what I say." And the very next scene, he says, "Sure, go ahead, go to your girlfriend. I'm not unreasonable." And it's like, what the fuck? And it's very fun to see like Venom developing and like, oh, I like this, let's do this. You know, that's because that's the sporadic thing that this Venom has, and I found that very funny. So that's my opinion on the character. The story, however, I do agree with the critics with. It's very, very generic. The bad guy, for example, I didn't like this bad guy. I didn't enjoy seeing him. Like, there are so many things about him that happen just suddenly that I'm like, no, man, no, 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 no. That's not how you do. That's not how we do. You know, there's a scene where someone infiltrates his, like, his his entire goal is to have these symbiotes that come from space bond with someone because he believes in like going out into space and inhabit new worlds. However, he also thinks that humans are very inferior creatures, even though he himself is human. You know, and he doesn't think twice about sacrificing some people, and it's like, ah, man, you're so generic. But his lab with all those symbiotes gets infiltrated like 3 times in this movie. So I'm like, your security sucks, you know? Wow. I mean, at one point, a little girl just walks in, and he's not even like, what the fuck are you doing here? Get out! No, he's like, hello. What are you doing here? Are you lost? You know, and it's like, dude, wake the fuck up. You know, that's like, ugh. Yeah, I don't really have that much more to say about it other than the bad critique. I can see where they're coming from, except that I'm not like I'm not that angry at this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. It was funny. Like I said, if you are like interested in like the relationship between Venom and Eddie, go give this a watch. If you're just here and not take it that seriously, because it's a superhero movie, okay? It's not supposed to be that dark and epic, you know? It's like superhero stories can be the new mythological things, but they don't always have to be so goddamn serious. So my final verdict, I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. You know, just past the 6. It's better than a 6, in my opinion. It was funny. I laughed my ass off at the interactions between Eddie and Venom, and yeah, the other characters were just less interesting. But what do you want in a Venom-based story? You know, you want all the characters to be this grand thing. No, I want to see Venom, and you're gonna see Venom. So yeah, those are my 2 cents. I'm going to finish this because it's only going to get worse. That was my short review. Do with it what you want. See that like button down there? Kick it in the nuts. Like, comment, share. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's get this discussion rolling. I am thrilled to be talking with some of these critics. But yeah, I liked it. Bite me. But not like Venom does, because then my entire face. Okay. Hyrit out.